All right. Hello and welcome to our July meeting. Also, hello to Bill from the Minneapolis group, because I know he watches these later. We're just going to get right to it. So here's what's new in the past month. So earlier this week, obviously, they dropped some updates for us. So we'll talk about the El Capitan updates, as well as the iOS, tvOS, and watchOS updates, Office updates, as we do every month, and we'll talk about what's new with Firefox and Flash, and we'll do a postmortem on PSU MacAdmins. We'll start with the 10.11.6 update for El Capitan. So the big issues with this is it fixes lots of bug fixes and security patches. Fixes an issue with parental controls that prevented saving some settings. Also fixed an issue to prevent some network devices from accessing SMB share points. They mentioned in the notes specifically like speakers. So I'm guessing like wireless speakers that try to access like music shares, I'm guessing. So on the enterprise side, one of the fixes this has and should improve startup time when you're connected to a NetBoot server on El Capitan, which is a big plus. Also fixes an issue that prevented startup from a NetBoot image created with a 10.11.4 or 10.11.5 installer. And also fixed an issue that may cause Active Directory authentication to take longer than expected. So if you've been experiencing that, make sure you upgrade to 10.11.6, test and see if that resolves it for you. And if not, open a bug. So there was a 57 CVEs that affected 22 processes that were closed in this. I didn't make the notes, but one of them specifically closes a pretty nasty exploit where if somebody crafted a malicious TIFF file, it would be able to steal passwords from them. I talked about this, I think, in the iOS side, but it also applies to the OS X side. For those of you wondering, the security update that came along with this for Yosemite and Mavericks only addresses 6 of the 57, six of the 22 processes and 22 of the 57 CVEs that the El Capitan update addresses. So we got to definitely get away from Yosemite and Mavericks sooner rather than later. iOS. So this was the exploit I was talking about. This is closed in 9.3.3. We're calling it stage fright because that's what they called it on the Android side when it's a very similar vulnerability. Essentially, it's as I said, it uses a maliciously crafted text message to steal passwords. And the iOS OS X version uses a TIFF over MMS to exploit a bug in the image IO framework. And that's actually listed if you look in the security bulletin that's associated with all the updates. You'll see framework, image IO, and then say it's been list of CV. So 43 CVEs affecting 15 processes on this one. For tvOS, 9.2.2 was released, mostly bug fixes and performance improvements. More security holes, 36 CVEs, 11 processes. watchOS 2.2.2, same deal. Lots of the same CVEs and processes addressed since they all share a lot of the same base code. And Office 2016, so 15.24 dropped, I think about a week or two ago. So lots of, there's a couple of new features for O365 subscribers that may make it to the volume license at a later date. But there's also a lot of bug fixes. There's particularly one, I think, that closes a general couple of Microsoft bulletins about exploits. This is also the last 32-bit version of Office. Next month will be the debut of the 64-bit version of Office. If you're on the fast insider track, or it should be coming to the slow insider track very soon, you've at least been exposed to it, and I've been running it, and it's the performance is pretty good. Things are a lot faster. I'm not really a power Office user, so I don't know how big of a difference it's going to make, but it should, at least on the Excel side, make a big difference. Address a lot more tables. So those users of yours that you're using Excel as a database, will have less of a reason to stop doing that going forward. Office 2011, another update for that was released, mostly bug fixes since it's in maintenance mode. And as I said, 64-bit Office arrives next month. So Firefox and Flash. This week they announced that starting next month, Firefox will block non-user essential Flash content. And they'll also use a curated list of what to replace Flash content with HTML where available. And in 2017, they'll implement the click to activate Flash, which Safari has now, and I think Google has now too, Chrome has now. And they said they'll drop support for all NP API plugins in March, except for Flash. So sources for those were ours and Mozilla's blog there. And, Penn State MacAdmins is come and gone. These are the dates for next year. So if you wanted to go this year, but it showed up too late, now's the time to start planning. Try to get into your budget for next year, either travel expenses or training or both. The video of all the sessions are now up on YouTube as of yesterday or the day before. And there's also a link to all the slides to go with it. Jeremy and my sessions I have a link right to there. And so yes, there are, definitely check out all the sessions because there's lots of stuff that will help you guys out. If you, regardless of whether you're using Monkey or Casper or both, there's also lots of cool other things going on. I think the Apple developer one, I think that was recorded as well, so that's up there.
Awesome.
I think so. I don't think that was not recorded. I think that was one of the ones that they allowed to be recorded because it was all about demonstrating Swift. And yep. And there's definitely, and I'll talk about another one very shortly. So it's all kinds of stuff. There's some reverse engineering talks in there too. So Tyler, if you want to take a look at some of those. And lastly, we'll talk about the MacAdmins podcast because this month was all about the Adobe installers issue. So Patrick Fergus, who's on this podcast along with Tim Sutton, had a session dedicated to this at PSU MacAdmins, and the video is currently up. So you probably want to look at that because I'm sure most of us here probably have something to do with Adobe Creative Cloud, and so you'll definitely want to take a look at this. So so their guests this month were Tim Sutton and Patrick Fergus. So where they talk all about this. So, and you can find that there. And that's pretty much all I had for this week. So, this month. So with that, we'll just open up the floor to pretty much anything. Yeah, go ahead.
I got something. I don't know if anybody else has seen this issue, but I got it confirmed by the guy in the Microsoft Office Slack channel. We were having users saving documents in Office 2016 to a network file share over SMB. And
which is always problematic.
Yeah, well, it was not saving it properly, where it would save it, but the permissions would be only for the owner, and it would strip out any group permissions. Because
I think that's a pretty known issue. I think.
Oh, I I was starting to get complaints about it, so I asked. It's coming out. It's coming out with 1525, which is aiming for
right. Yeah, that's again, network Office documents and network shares has always been problematic. But they've been making a big effort to try and address that in the last couple of updates. Yeah, because I remember listening to the chatter in the Microsoft Office channel, and that's come up a bunch of times, and Paul has always been like pretty good about trying to get, send me logs, send me this type of information. He forwards it over to the right people, and they've been trying to lick this. So I know they've definitely been working on it for at least the last couple of updates to try and resolve this. So hopefully 1525 is the magic bullet.
I tested the Fast Insider with the same network share that other staff are having problems with, and they fixed it. So
good.
They said 1525. I guess it's coming out like I think the 15th of August.
Yeah, roughly about it's about the 15th. It's like the second week usually of the month, roughly. So
I think that's the 64-bit one too.
Yes, so that'll be in the 64-bit version. 1525 is the 64-bit version coming. So yeah.
I actually remember those symptoms going all the way back to at least Office 04. That was a huge
Microsoft
headache.
and Adobe don't really like working from network shares at all.
Not at all. From an OpenText eDoc server on that, and it really works for lawyers. This was an iPad Air 2.
Oh.
Yeah, it still works. I mean, it's not that bad. It's actually, most of it's right on the border. Anyway, there's an iFixit kit that I can buy for this for like $20. Has everything I need. Has anyone ever taken these apart? How hard is it to take apart? I mean, they have a whole YouTube thing that I've watched a couple of times.
You need a heat gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a hairdryer won't do it.
So
How hard is it for us, or how hard can it be for you?
I figured you were going to ask that, sir. So I will answer with a second for me. Because the only thing I like what you just brought up is the whole key issue.
Yeah.
Because if that goes wrong, then I'm fucked. Basically.
You could stick it in the oven.
That's another. Well, they have this iPad case thing that you can throw in the microwave. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that doesn't.
But I don't want to do that. Or I can throw that iPad case thing in the oven as well.
Yeah.
Again, I'm really not comfortable doing that. So
But yeah, no, a hairdryer simply won't get the glue hot enough to get it loose.
So I might have to go professional shop on this.
Yeah, I think you probably want to bite the bullet and have somebody else do it for you.
You guys know a good one in Philly? A reputable one?
I was gonna say go to Apple.
Yeah, Apple itself?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Apple, yeah.
Flat fee and
Yep, flat fee repair.
once you get a decent
Maybe you can
warranty
pay
on it.
Chad.
Thanks for nothing, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chad is more mobile when you get it, he can swing it for you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Talk on. I can carry it right now.
You could just get an Amazon Fire tablet. It's cheaper to repair.
And by repair, you mean throw out and buy another one.
Exactly.
Yeah, no repairing those.
I would say they're fairly durable though. I have two boys, 5 and 8.
Perfect.
Yet to destroy
Nice.
a pair of fire tablets.
Yeah, they're very durable. I have a Asus Mimo 7, and it works fine for me. All of a sudden, the dog stepped on it, broke right across the thing. And I called the company, and I was like, "So my dog stepped on it. I believe it was in my bag, and he probably stepped on it, cracked the screen." Like, "Oh, we'll replace it." I was surprised, sent it in.
Wow.
They replaced it.
Really?
They changed they changed the glass from one specific one to a better one. Haven't had any sort of problems on it.
That was a noticeable difference.
Oh, yeah. It was clear, actually, crisper.
Did your dog step on it again to test it?
No, I didn't want to risk it.
What kind of dog?
Lab.
So smart, they probably want to read. Chocolate, your golden, black.
It's golden.
So, anybody working on anything interesting?
I was telling them Yosemite and El Capitan don't like the trend office scan in the environment that I work in.
Trend micro?
Yeah, office scan, trend micro, it just doesn't show up in the apps, connect to the server, but there is some binaries there because my VPN Java appliance sees it and allows it to pass. They've got an open ticket out into trend right now.
You know, it's like, very well, it's an audit script, probably just looking for presence.
That's
I can demo that.
It should, the appliance should check for it and to see if there's any updates to the antivirus before it allows you to proceed. That's not the case here. Obviously, it sees some footprint there and it just goes.
Well, okay.
So if you're a trend shop, beware.
This is not semantic.
Well, I know, Symantec always has issues with the data, because, we're in for these. We're doing some testing.
I don't actually need to show you the Raspberry Pi,
What are you doing?
just remote into it.
Yeah, Symantec actually had a lot of vulnerabilities that were
You wanna
supposed to be
switch?
patched.
Yeah, we had a big push for that for our remaining semantic clients.
Yeah. It's one of the things I was actually surprised. And then
All right, yeah,
there's actually a vulnerability on Windows now that lets you execute malicious code via internet.
Keyboard and mouse?
I've read about that.
Yeah, it's using the IPP, Internet
Mhm.
Printing Protocol. And then there's some others internally on the LAN that it asks for a driver, it sends a driver, and the driver could be malicious and doesn't check.
awesome.
And it's been there for 25 years.
Oh,
Yeah, which is even more scary.
So is anybody with Office 365, well, no, I guess it doesn't have to do with that, no. I have, and our setup is AD server. However, we're moving away from authenticating against that AD server and having that AD server have a trust relationship with our main authentication server. So now, people are not gonna be able to change their passwords on their laptops and through the AD server, through the preferences. They'll have to go through a web portal to change it globally. I'm wondering if doing that, how their password's gonna sync.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You mean-
Because the preference thing relies on the AD plugin and the actual direct connection to the AD server.
Right.
So if you change it to the website, it's not going to update automatically.
No, the next time the Mac's able to connect to the AD server is when it'll recognize the new password.
Right.
Then you have to deal with keychain sync, and then you just sort of smack your head into the table repeatedly until you're unconscious.
Right.
And once you wake up, repeat that process.
So you're still going to be logging in with AD accounts to the Mac?
Yeah,
Just the password will get reset
Yeah,
in
so-
another directory service.
I think what they're trying to do is they're gonna link up with the global AD server with the university and have some kind of trust relationship there. So you won't actually be binding to that. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. But the main thing is that we won't be able to change the passwords on our AD server. They're just gonna be down to,
Is it just lab machines?
no, these are.
It's all Mac?
Laptops, desktops, not lab.
Gonna be bad.
Yeah, right? I'm thinking.
The only issue you're gonna see is the keychain. As long as the binding's okay, then.
Well, I mean, are you just talking about like a trust between your AD and the general Rutgers AD back up
Yeah.
north?
Yep.
it might be okay then. Because you might,
Okay, if they're both AD.
yes,
Theoretically, it should be,
yeah, if you're just establishing a trust, then if, like, I think if you said allow authentication from a domain in the forest, that should still work.
Yeah, I'm being told that changing passwords through the preferences is not gonna work.
Depends on what level of trust you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah. if you're
read-only
reading-
upstream, then changing passwords locally won't work.
No, you'd have to basically authentic, you'd have to bind it to
The upstream
That
AD.
AD in order for that to work.
If they even allow that there, and from what
From his.
description, they may not.
That sounds like it's gonna be problematic.
Yeah, just stop binding to AD. Local accounts for the win.
So, for the folks who are doing local accounts, how are you managing the password expiration? Are you using the built-in password policy?
Generally, I've seen using the configuration profile,
Okay.
trying to use a configuration profile when it works.
And does it, yeah, and that's worked for most people? Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Depends on the version of the
they
OS.
just documented, the config profile for that. Like, Jordan sent me an email link for that on the developer page, where it lists all the keys. So the profile, you have to enable the key first and then set it, so.
Inside of the
Inside
local
of-
password keychain.
No, like you have to,
Configuration profile.
whatever key you want to set, you actually have to enable the key first
Okay.
in the profile. And then the next one underneath is setting that key.
Okay.
So it's really bizarre the way that it's set up.
Yep.
I was looking, it's like, why are all these keys redundant? Oh. You have to enable the key first and then set it.
That doesn't sound like it's worth the time.
But apparently you can basically, he built it as being able to use DSCL, like anything you can do with DSCL, you can now, or dsconfig AD, you can do in the profile, so. I haven't tested it yet. But we should be starting testing soon, so I may play around with that.
If you ever get your
What?
multiple default DPMVM servers.
Right. Yeah, I got a separate rule in my email to highlight all the particular vendor emails that come through.
Okay.
Say, if this vendor shows up, let me know, so I can go and assign those. So, yeah, but I have to look and see whether it's a Mac,
Mhm.
because they still order iPads occasionally for that vendor as well, so. iPads and yeah.
From a single PO even?
Yeah,
You
I
can do it
gotta,
by order as well.
well, yeah, I can search by order, but I gotta look at the order, see whether
And
it's
see what's
actually.
on it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go, here we go.
So do you have a feature request?
Pirate.
for multiple?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's default. Default username.
Black Pearl.
Black Pearl.
Is that a radar?
This is
No, it's actually, it's an enterprise request.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there's a radar for it.
For,
Setting multiple defaults per platform,
oh yes.
there is.
Oh yes.
Okay.
There are many.
So this is the Raspberry Pi Hyperride OS that basically creates a Docker instance for you. You flash this to your SD card on the Raspberry Pi, plug it in, and you're all ready to go with Docker. It's pretty awesome. So if I just type Docker, I already have Docker PS. I already have two processes running that are running that boot right now,
Yes.
and that's all you need.
So, Pepine gets a shout out apparently
Yeah.
on Philly MacAdmins.
He actually tuned into one of our live streams.
Is that one of the Ouster ones?
I don't remember. I think it's the
This
one
is
I'm on
the,
tape. I think
This
it's
is
the one
the
I'm on
command.
tape.
This is the command that actually starts the NetBoot server. And that's all you need to do. Once you get that command in there, you hit go, and it's good to go. You just have to make sure you have the right files in the MBI directory. So that just requires, I think it just requires the i386 folder, which is not very big at all. I'm not sure if you have to reconfigure this every time you get a new OS. You might be able to leave this. You have to create a new MBI every time for the Police Studio. What you do need is this net install DMG, but you can actually host that on a separate web server. So, but you do need the file, so you just touch the file and it satisfies the Docker process. And then I think all you would need to do is update that net install file on your web server, and you should be good to go with any new OSs you need to put on there.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's.
When
This is I think this is a Raspberry Pi 1B.
Right.
It's an old one.
So are you
100 megabytes.
assigning an IP to those services? Or
Yeah.
like-
In that Docker command. So
And is that the same? Is that the IP of that Raspberry Pi, or is it a separate IP?
it's the Raspberry Pi. So you have to give it the URL of that net install DMG file,
Mm-hmm.
which is right now just my Mac in my office. And then you also have to give it the IP address of the actual Raspberry Pi, and that's really it. So that the BSDPY IP for the Raspberry Pi is for the TFTP server that you also have to run up here.
Oh.
That's this one right here, or no, that's the other one. That one right there, and that's pretty basic command.
So if you're running this on something else and half the storage, you could point it to itself for the storage for the MBI then, right?
Yeah, you can put everything at the Raspberry Pi, but it's so slow. It's this one's 100.
Yeah, I just meant as a sort of Docker generality.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're setting up Docker, you can point everything to the IP of the machine you're running on if it has enough room for it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
I mean, you really don't need anything bigger than 8 gig because the MBIs generally aren't that big anyway. I think
Right.
maybe 4 or 5 gig. But for the speed purposes, you really want to get that off of the big part of that 4 gig and then install DMG. You definitely want to get that off of the Raspberry Pi,
Mhm.
unless you get one of those. I looked into it. There's another one called Banana Pi, I think, that has a gigabit interface.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think this HyperOS runs on it. Not sure though. But yeah, it's awesome. You can just string one of these things with every subnet you need it on.
That would work for me.
Yes, the other thing with putting the net installed BMG on a web server, you just have to maintain that one large file.
Right. Yeah, but still, yeah, that wouldn't work. The environment as large as mine.
Yeah.
I mean, the Docker part probably would.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be like IP helper time.
If you can get somebody that, or if you know how to get it to work, if you get the IP helpers to work, that's the best way to go. I've not had luck getting them to work on our switches, but
Because it's just Cisco.
yeah, it's not me. It's our network person that does it. So among kids?
We've had success with the IP helpers in some instances. It's usually just for one subnet though, like from where the server is to just one dedicated subnet. Sitting on one IP helper. I don't think we've set up multiple IP helpers to bridge multiple. And it may be something we look at down the line. You know, if we get depth working, then we can have like maybe people re-image on their desk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But, we have a lot of subnets. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is the TFTP Docker run. Pretty simple.
I mean, the nice thing about Raspberry Pi is you can add stuff to it. So I guess in a sense, you could probably add more than one interface. Possibly.
Yeah, it just the way we're set up. If we're gonna have dedicated hardware, we might as well put it in the MDF and rack it.
Yeah.
I have never seen one, Raspberry Pi.
They're about like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I know
about
they're size
that
of a
big,
credit
right?
card, right? I mean, they're,
they're
Depending
about
on-
small.
Which model you get and what features it's got, but yeah, they're tiny.
and they're really tiny.
They're palm tops.
Yeah, and they even have, there's a couple that they're actually, they're firewalls. You stick them on your network and they're firewalls. There's a couple projects out for them being an IDS. There's one that's kind of working on being an IPS, but there's lots of things we can do with Raspberry Pi.
Maybe we could do it as sort of like part of the test lab thing, but I don't think we'd be able to do it for production. But Raspberry Pis for production.
Oh,
It's figure out how to manage them all.
Hmm?
It's figure out how to manage them all.
I mean, we use I know on the Linux side of the house, they use Papa. So, yeah, those are.
Shut this down. Damn, it's got more interfaces than I thought.
Hey, that's an oldie.
That's 8 gig, huh? 8 gig flash. What's the processor on?
It's an ARM chip. That's why a lot of the Docker stuff doesn't work on them. You have to have at least for this, for the BSDPY, Ruan had to create a separate build for the Raspberry Pi. Just has anything has the RPI tag, usually works.
Yeah, the newer ones have a faster processor in them, I believe.
Yeah, but they still have 100 megabit Ethernet for some reason.
Because it's easier to, I think it's because it's
Lower power maybe?
it's lower power, but it also, it's the upstream bus is USB 2. So the Ethernet is actually a USB 2 device, and you're never going to get better than,
I wonder if that's the same with the Banana Pi.
that may very well
If
be.
it has a gigabit, you're not getting better than USB 2 on it.
Yeah. I think I've seen a couple out there that have USB 3, but I could be wrong. I could be mixing it up with pre-built Arduino boards.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably going to get dragged into that kind of stuff, whether I like it or not. My son just got his first real programmable robotics kit today, and apparently immediately opened it as soon as he got home from camp. So,
Nice.
yeah. It'll be fun. New world.
Yeah, my cousins, they sent their son, well, their son out to different camps, and they've learned a lot, and it allows them to better kind of judge. Okay, I did like this about this project. I didn't like that, so I probably should go toward this field.
Yeah.
So Jackson's going to start the robot apocalypse.
I wouldn't put it past him.
This is how Skynet happened.
Yeah, look, you have Pokemon Go with everyone on their phones with the cameras and stuff like that.
Yep.
Just link them all together, and there you go.
It'll be awesome.
Start saving up for that, small business firewall, sonic wall now.
What did I put it? It was the Ubiquity Edge Router Lite. That's what I put in earlier this year. And that's for $100. I think really capable.
Do you do any content filtering?
It doesn't, but I think I can bolt that on. It's not the most powerful. I mostly did it to get VPN off of my OS X server. So I didn't have to keep poking holes through my firewall to do it. And when I decided to play with my server remotely and broke things.
That's how you learn.
Well, yes, but when I'm not there to forcibly reboot it, and the media server is on said server, which pipes music and movies throughout the house, there could be problems.
Yeah, I just use Plex
You
for
have
that.
care movement and stuff.
Yeah, she knows how. No, it is Plex.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
So is anybody having any issues with updating to El Capitan when File Vault's enabled?
No.
I haven't seen any problems in
How
our
are
environment.
you doing the upgrade?
Well, I tried it both through Monkey and through Jam self-service with the check box for what is it?
The authenticated restart?
Yeah, authenticated restart, yeah. But it never prompts, or it hasn't prompted, at least the two that I've been trying on.
How are you building the upgrade package?
Dropping the app directly on the Casper admin.
Okay. So what I am doing, and it works, but it's not the right way to do it. I just dumped the installer app on a DMG in Casper and just installs it in the applications folder, and then I have a command that just opens it.
Oh, okay.
So yes, it's it's definitely not the rich way.
But that works fine. I've done that.
It works, but it's like, I can feel Alistair judging me from New York.
I'm
knows,
gonna
he
say
might hear you.
Alistair's a good person to ask.
What?
Alistair's a good person to ask.
Alistair's a good person to ask. Rich does have a write-up on how to use the auto DMG way.
What we're using.
Yeah.
Oh, DMG way.
Yeah.
I had no choice because
I think he packages it up through auto DMG.
that's how I do it. That's how we do it because,
Then-
He has a full Casper workflow for that. That is documented.
yeah, that's a great way. Our GMG is really good because we couldn't use Composer
I've used
to
it
create my image
for,
because it destroyed
Nobody
Firewall.
should use it.
Like I couldn't get Firewall to work at all. And so we got rid of using Composer and I just used Auto DMG and basically just a thin image.
well, yeah, so
and,
you're imaging at that point, aren't you? Or is it an in-place upgrade? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think that's
Credo is a package, what I use actually on the Monkey part of it. But Monkey's just failing on that. I don't know what's going on with that one.
Are you including anything? Like, or are you writing a script for I think it's FD restart? No. Or?
I have not put any of the scripting in for FD.
So it's just like a vanilla Create OS 10 install.
Yeah. I do have the, just vanilla, yeah.
Oh.
You shouldn't be having a problem.
We only have one person on campus using FileVault besides myself, so.
Well, it's going to be a big problem for me because I've been mandated to have every single Mac have firewall by July.
Even
Well,
desktops?
at July 1st, or July 31st, it's mandatory for everybody to have it.
Just laptops or
Even every desktop?
Laptops and desktops.
Oh, no.
Are you doing,
Right? Yeah.
including labs?
It's not labs.
Okay.
I've not.
Just one-to-one,
yet.
the one-to-one mode.
Somebody said that we should be doing that, but
That's ridiculous.
On the labs?
That would be a bad
On these?
idea.
That would be a
Yeah.
very bad
With all the
idea.
people logging into them? Or is it just one account?
no, it's everybody. It's not necessarily they want firewall, they want physical and, what's the buzzword they're using?
Physical access.
For physical machines that are encrypted. Anyway, but yeah, so they want the network flow encrypted. It's fine. SMB or whatever, that's fine.
Encrypt all the things.
Yeah, encrypt all the things. That's what they're saying. And they want,
Encrypt all the things. Protect the data.
shoot, I forget the buzzword. But anyway, they want the physical machine encrypted as well. Since technically their files are going to be temporarily at least stored on the local machine.
Now, the only thing I could see you could do in a lab environment is by having like the instructor or whatever. All the lab computers will have a username and password just for Firewall.
Yeah.
So if someone comes in here after hours, they can't open it up and say, okay, hey, I'm going to copy these files over, and boom,
Right.
there you go.
I imagine that's the workflow you'd have to go with. You'd have to have some morning ritual where the machines get logged on or unlocked and they're left on, nobody restarts them until the end of the day and they get turned off. That's the only,
But then you have,
Or you can set them automatically to restart.
Yeah.
but then
So,
if you're using Monkey, you have to suppress having it install like updates that require reboot the machine afterwards. There isn't secure restart in Monkey yet. Although Wesley Whetstone was working on that at PSU a couple weeks ago, trying to get something secure.
you can do like a post script. But,
Yeah. Call
Apparently you have to
yourself.
provide the key. Apparently you have to provide like
Well, you have to provide, to do that thing to restart, you have to provide either the admin username and password, or, the key, you have to cover key.
and I think that's where Greg Nagel was getting,
Bogged down.
wanting it to be better because you're storing it somewhere plain text on the disk and providing that to manage software update to reboot the computer, and then if they knew exactly when to pull the plug on the machine, that they could,
I wonder how Jamf's doing that.
Well, they
Well,
have a key escrow, right?
Yeah, they have a key escrow, so,
They can just both,
yeah, but is it being encrypted, or is that traffic going encrypted, or
what
is it?
kind of files it being stored in.
I don't think it's actually stored anywhere,
But the,
recovery key or the password. I don't think it's stored. I think it sets a flag that doesn't destroy the what's it called, a key? Because when you authenticate the firewall, you generate some sort of token that lets firewall be
Yeah, it's
unlocked.
a session token.
Essentially, what you're doing is not destroying that on the reboot.
No.
So I don't think it actually stores a password or a recovery key anywhere. But I'll have to double check that. I don't
Yeah.
think that's what it works.
well, I mean, if it's escrowing it to show up in the JSS, that string should be in the database.
Mhm.
But the actual key itself is not in the database.
Right. You store the code to the lockbox that the key is in.
Yes. Lockbox. But yeah, so you can do it the easy, cheap way, or you can do Rich's way.
Right.
So yeah, my way is just like it just launches it for the user, and
I
that's
didn't
the user
expect to have a
login.
problem with this. I've read on the Jamf site, the forum, that checking that box is the way to go and it works.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've checked the box for a couple of things, but for a couple of things I definitely need a restart, like for when set runs and that needs a restart. I think that works. But I haven't done an imaging time, and I haven't imaged anything in like months, so it's working. And And the interns we have running it don't tell me anything is broken until it's really broken, so. But I gotta redo the whole thing anyway now that we've got debt, so.
Does bathroom is.
Oh, yeah, make right, make left.
Right,
Please
right,
read.
okay.
And, anything else? Any questions anybody got?
I got something to share, but I'm gonna wait till the broadcast.
I can kill that
You
one.
want, it's like NDA?
Oh, it's something.
No,
Uh,
it's,
Well, we could talk about some NDA stuff, but we'd have to kill the broadcast.
When?
Yes, so, see you guys next month.
yeah.